Coach Natalie, and welcome to another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. Today we're going to learn a move we call the bow and arrow choke. Now this is a submission that can be both done on the mount and from the back. It's pretty simple, so let's check it out. Seen from another position. Now, we're first going to learn the bow and arrow from the mount. This might be the best way for you to see what I'm doing. Now, if you've ever done much jiu-jitsu, you'll know that the person on the bottom is going to be trying to escape. The number one way that they might try to do that is to kind of get off to their side. What they're going to be doing, if this was a real person, especially, they'd be putting both of their hands on your hip and then trying to get out from underneath you. So when they turn over, you're going to actually kind of subtly let them do that by not pressing down as much as you can, but actually letting up a little on your top pressure so that your partner, in this case Sally, says, oh no, I've got to escape. I'm going to turn to my side. I'm going to let her do that. As soon as I can, I'm going to take both hands and I'm going to shuck this arm forward and I'm going to secure her shoulder with my chest. Now, I'm going to put my hand here, kind of give myself a little stability, pressing forward. As soon as I can, I'm going to put my hand underneath her head. We call that a gift wrap. Now, top hand is going to go underneath her top underarm, and I'm going to grab her right lapel. I'm now going to feed this lapel into my left hand. So I'm reaching over, giving it to my left hand. My thumb comes in, my four fingers come around it. Now I have a pretty good grip with my left hand on her right lapel. I'm now going to get into what we call the triple threat position. I'm going to have my knee behind her head, my foot here kind of on her stomach. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be grabbing the outside fabric of her top leg here. If I can, I'll even actually try to underhook the leg, but if I have limited flexibility, whatever, I'm just going to grab this fabric. Now, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward a little bit to get my leg out from behind her, and I'm going to get onto my bottom. So the last position before I apply the submission is that my foot is securing her stomach. She can't roll out that way. My left hand is holding onto her right lapel, And as I said, I'm holding onto her knee fabric. I'm now going to pull my left arm backwards, keeping my elbow close to my body until she taps. Again, seen from the front. I'm on the mount. She's gonna try to turn to elbow escape me, and I'm gonna let her do that. Both my hands, I'm gonna shuck her arm forward until my chest is resting right behind her shoulder. Now, this hand is providing some stability, but as soon as I'm really pressing her forward, I'm gonna underhook her head. With this right hand, my right hand, I'm gonna go underneath her right underarm, grab her right lapel, and feed it to my left hand. Now again, we get what we call into a triple threat position. My knees kind of behind her head, my foot's right in front of her stomach. I'm actually gonna grab the top outside fabric of her knee. I'm gonna go forward just enough to be able to get my leg out. Now I'm on my bottom. Again, my foot's in front of her stomach. My hand is on her lapel, and my other hand is on the outside of her top leg fabric. I'm now going to go backwards, and that would result in a tap. Now, some of the mistakes that people might make in this position, I guess we'll go in this way, is side, forward, underhook, fabric, triple threat. Now in this position, my elbow is really close to my torso. And for whatever reason, my arm was really loopy, she might be able to escape. I have short arms, so really that's not a problem. But if you have really long arms, you really want to keep those elbows in. And the last mistake that people might make, like this, fabric, is this foot, this leg, really needs to secure the position. If for whatever reason I let this leg go, you know, she could escape, hitchhiker out, or what we call a hitchhiker. So keep the elbow in, always secure at least one of your legs over them. Now, the bow and arrow can also be done from the back. In another lesson I've just done, which is called the zipper choke. And if for whatever the zipper choke doesn't work, you can always turn it into the bow and arrow. So let's check it out. Again, it's important to have what we call hooks. Keep your feet on them so that you can keep them from rolling away, escaping, that kind of thing. I'm going to have one hand over, one hand under, what we call the over-under position. Normally you secure them like this. I'm going to take this hand, and I'm going to now actually going to be putting my hand in the opposite lapel, lifting it up, putting my hand in, and I'm actually going to fall in the direction of my elbow here. Now I'm going to take this fabric, remember, keeping the leg over them, and I'm going to kind of straighten up here. I'm now arching this way. Again, let's say you're doing a rear naked choke or a zipper choke or something from the back and it's not working. Of course, you still have your hooks in, your feet over and under, loosen, thumb in. Now take my head and I'm going to be pushing my partner off to this side. At the same time, I'm going to grab this fabric. Now I'm going to end up kind of almost 90 degrees from them. Still securing this fabric here, still having this grip, and I'm going to arch and pull away. Now, a mistake that you might make in this case is just trying to pull with the arm. You really want to move your whole torso, and that would avoid that mistake. So I'll do both of them again. Full speed. And that is the bow and arrow. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. I invite you to come over to my page. I have a athletes page, Natalie Jiu Jitsu, and drop me a line. Tell me what you think. Suggest a move. And thank you again for joining me for another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies.